Yeah, it's tricky being a white man.
How's it feel to be white, Mike?
Can't get right, man. Can't get
Yeah, right. I had a friend of mine who's white. He said, "Hey, we had a good run, man. 400 years. We had a great run."
Yeah, that's like your lineage being rich and then you're poor. Yeah. My lineage was rich and now I'm poor.
You had a good run, Mike? You had a good run?
They had a good run.
Was it like the 94, 95 Bulls?
They had a great run.
Like 94, 95 Bulls? You had a good run?
Yeah, except for I'm the current Bulls team.
Yeah.
And my forefathers.
Hey, welcome to the Not Offended podcast. We're back. It's been 4 long weeks, or at least it has for me, but we're back. We're so excited to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. I just ask one favor. Can you like, share, and comment? Also, follow us over on our new page on YouTube, the Not Offended page. We would love to have you guys. We would love for you to subscribe. You never know. We might be giving away some things, but boy, do we got a hot one today. I know. I don't sound like my normal self. I'm still working through this whole thing. Hey, gentlemen, we're back from Israel. How's life? How you guys doing? We all had a good time, right?
Come on. That was awesome.
Shalom.
There you go.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. Did you guys have a good time?
Man, it was amazing. Life-changing.
Life-changing.
You have to go.
Okay.
As a believer, you have to go.
Let's start off right here. There was a little rumor that Jake almost picked a fight. We almost got into a fight in Israel. What? Is there a little rumor going around? I mean, everybody's coming up to me at church talking about we almost had to fight our way out, or what do we know about this?
Not a rumor. It's not a rumor.
It's not a rumor.
It definitely happened. There was some shoving going on. No, get this. We're in a bunker. We're just outside of
Bethlehem.
Okay, on the
I'm just trying to shop. That's all I'm trying to do.
We're in a bunker. Like
we're in a bunker. Yeah.
It's gated, walls, everything, and Jake decides to go rogue. With the whole bus tour of people, about 30 of us there.
So we go into we go into Elias's friend's shop, and it's got all these like tourist things for you can buy. And as people are finishing up shopping, Jake had already went outside, DeShawn had went outside, and there's these guys that came over and they're trying to sell flags or something. I don't know. Scarves. Everybody's trying to sell scarves, but they're like super aggressive. So I go outside, I see them, I see DeShawn, I see Jake, everything's fine. I go back inside. Then I go back outside a second time, and then this time I see DeShawn and his face is like I can't believe this face. And I'm like, oh.
What was the face, DeShawn? What was the face? What was the saying?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you, I was out there.
It was a serious face.
It was a serious face.
A serious face, and now I don't see Jake.
Now, granted, look, everybody's inside. 30 of us inside. I think it's just the 3 of us that are outside with these vendors, right?
I love it.
And
I love it.
This little shove happens, right? The guy's in Jake's face, and a little shove happens to back him off.
We're speaking all sorts of languages now, aren't we?
Yes. And so I'm nervous because we have 30 of our group inside. Nobody knows what's going on, and it's just us on the outside. And these guys are he puts all his stuff down, and now he's getting upset. I don't know. You can take over from there, DeShawn.
What were you thinking, DeShawn? Like, give us some inside perspective here.
I don't know. It's the guy comes to Jake pretty aggressively, but I'm like, I didn't think he ain't trying to fight us or anything. But for some reason, Jake thought he was trying to fight him or something. I don't know. Jake pushes him. Jake pushes him pretty hard. It wasn't a soft push. Try to get Jake on the bus, and so the guy goes puts the stuff down. And he's still yelling. His friends over there, get him off the bus. Meet the time. We need to work this out. Like, he's not getting off the bus, bro. Like, relax. He's not getting off the bus.
Ding, ding, ding. In this corner, all the way from Fresno, California, Jake, Mighty Man Mendoza.
Jake the Pusher.
That's what I felt like. I felt like, what did we just step into? All the way from the streets of Bethlehem, right? Muhammad or Hamed or somebody. I was like, what are we doing? I walk out there and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm like, Jake, what are you doing, Jake?
And these dudes are, to give people perspective, these dudes are super aggressive.
Yeah.
And in Jake's defense, look, this guy went right to his face. But we gotta understand, we're in another country.
Oh, we're defending Jake. Look at Jake. Jake's soaking it up. Jake's soaking it up.
We're in a part of town where it was like, hey, we got to get out of here. Like if you've ever been to that party, like we were at that party.
Woo!
And
I've been to one of those parties.
We got to go.
Hey, I've been to one of those parties.
We got to go. So this guy puts his stuff down. He's telling his buddy's telling DeShawn and I, hey, we need to get him off the bus because where we're from, they need to squash it. They need to handshake. And he's telling us like, you need to get him off the bus. And we're like, he's not coming off the bus. So eventually, everybody's coming from our group. Everybody's coming out, and you see these guys get on the phone. And it was like one car showed up, 2 cars shows up. There's like a 3rd car, and I'm like,
the Battle of Bethlehem.
Hey, I'm like, hey, we need to get out of here. I'm thinking this is gonna be like, some Bourne movie or something. Like it's.
Oh, so you're ready to go Jason Bourne on people? You're ready.
Well, you start thinking like, hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Okay. I see.
Wait, like we getting home?
Will we getting home?
But how are we gonna get home?
You was proud to be an American?
Hey, America.
Well, so tell me, anything else exciting happened on the trip? Anything positive? Come on, let's give someone positive. I mean, you just went to the Holy Land. Was there one thing that took you by surprise? Like you didn't see that coming? You didn't expect that?
The Mount of Olives was amazing.
The Mount of Olives.
To be able to see the view of the old city and
right.
The perspective of being there and being able to look out on everything was something that I just. I think I had somewhat of a grasp of what the night boat ride was going to look like.
Right.
But the view from the Mount of Olives was amazing.
Wasn't that gorgeous?
It was amazing.
Yeah. DeShawn, what about you?
The Sea of Galilee, that was cool. See how Jesus moved. See how there's hills. How he preached.
Right.
So you could really understand how he moved and operated in his ministry. Because a lot of that was based out of that area around the Sea of Galilee, coming back and forth. So that was cool to see.
Nice.
Yeah, obviously all the sights and everything, but I love singing in that church. Was it St. Anne's Church?
St. Anne's at the Pool of Bethesda.
1,500-year-old church, original. And we're not even a choir, and we sounded good.
People were asking, where you guys from?
Yeah.
Well, I was like, it sounded that good.
That was an awesome experience to be able to sing in there.
Yeah.
And so.
Okay, least favorite food.
Well, I got mine. I ate some something from the street.
Oh,
shawarma.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I thought it was just going to be some skewers and chicken and
DeShawn and I were looking at each other going, Bill shouldn't do that.
No,
and
he get back
too.
to
He goes, oh yeah, I'm not going to eat. It's already too late. And then he started ordering, and I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it got me. It's all right. It was just a 24-hour thing, and that was good.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
Jericho. When we went to Jericho, we went to like this buffet in Jericho. Yeah. And it was a little Indiana Jones-ish, where you're just like, you're opening a thing. Is this going to be a monkey head or like what the heck are we about to eat? Yeah, where's $25 I ever spent in my life?
What about you, D?
I mean, none of the food is good. None of it's like bad, like nasty, but
none of different.
Yeah, no, it's not different. It's not good.
Did you eat in Jericho?
They don't.
No,
yeah, they don't have great food in Israel. They have okay food and bad food.
Wow. See, I don't know. I mean, I thought when we went up to Banias, we stopped off. I had great barbecue. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, if American standards, no, that place will close down.
No, okay. Like I had good shawarma and falafel in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I had a good one too.
The only place I ate at that was subpar for me was Jericho, but the rest was fine. Even when I went into, I ate at the same shawarma place. Even the places I went to, I don't know. Maybe I'm used to it. I don't know.
No, it's not bad. I mean, it's a solid seafood across the board.
Or you're a foodie though, huh? Like you take your food serious.
I like good food.
Okay.
I mean, we are from America. We eat good food here.
Yeah, it's true.
They have seafood across the board.
Okay, well, there's a little bit of a summation from our Israel trip there. If you're interested in going to Israel, holler at me. I'm telling you right now, I love taking people. I love the experience. I love seeing the look on people's faces when they're on the boat ride on the Sea of Galilee. All that stuff is just incredible. It's absolutely amazing. I want to talk about something that I haven't been here for a while, but it's just something that I've been meaning to talk about. I just haven't had the time. But I want to talk about this, the transgender sports. Recently, I came across an article that says biological male from Seattle Academy takes first place in a girls cross-country team.
It's crazy.
So up in Seattle, there's a guy who ranked 72nd amongst boys the previous year, comes back to school the next year, says he identifies as a girl, tries out for the cross-country team, and just smokes everybody. like ends up in first place. They did a side-by-side stat. If he would have raced against boys, he would have ended up in 42nd place. And now people are mad because the girls' parents are crying foul. So this is what I'm saying. That boy is a cheater. He couldn't make it racing men. So instead of racing men, he decides to call himself a girl. I don't care what he feels like. He decides to call himself a girl just so he can end up in first place. Where are the feminists? Where are the women saying that is not right? Here's another man trying to take over a sport and dominate females. I don't care what he calls himself. I don't care what hormones he takes. He's still a guy, and he's cheating. Am I wrong? Or is he not a cheater?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, to me, this is the end of women's sports, right? If a guy can't make it in the guy sports, and he's just going to jump over to women's sports, right?
It's game over. There will be no women's sports. Men will dominate everything. We're just biologically more. We're just more. We're just superior biologically. Testosterone, hormones, bone density, the whole nine. Could you imagine LeBron James going over to the WNBA? What would he average? 80 points a game?
Yeah, and so a little bit of the issue is, the media, people kind of glorify this a little bit. Like, it's courageous to jump over, right?
How is it courageous,
And
though?
so, well, I don't know. I can't say it is, but this is why somebody's willing to do that. You were never thought to do this 10, 15 years ago.
We all have daughters. Is this fair? Is this fair? What do you guys say? Is this fair?
No, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's cheating.
I'm not alone.
No, it's 100% cheating. Because even like, especially in a sport like cross country, where you can actually go like you can look at times,
right?
Like this, if you would have run the same race, because a lot of times they run the same race. It's just
correct.
Girls run, then guys run. Yeah. So it's the exact same race, and you would have
literally at the exact same place normally.
And so if you're looking at high school sports, potentially if you are looking to get a scholarship for college and you're losing to this girl who's a guy, and on paper you're showing a recruiter, hey, I'm finishing in second place, third place, fourth place,
right?
But in reality, I should be finishing first place,
right?
You're losing out on a lot of money, right? Potential success at the next level.
So if your daughter, DeShawn, is, let's say playing soccer, and all of a sudden she's playing against a team where a boy identifies as a girl, and he's just raking over people, do you pull your daughter? Do you protest it and pull your daughter and say, she ain't playing with him? I mean, he's literally physically bigger, stronger, faster, and just mowing over people.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen it when my daughter played in like 3 and 4s. It was boys and girls together. You see the boys just dominate the girls. Even if a girl might be more talented, like skill-wise with soccer, the boys could simply knock her over and it didn't matter. So what I will leave that up to her.
Okay.
I will hope that the whole team will come together and protest it. But I will leave it up to her. I would have wanted to take her out.
So you're going to empower her to make her own decision. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she'll be a young girl that can make that decision. She's getting treated unfairly, but I think it'll be up to her to make that decision.
Why in society are we so afraid to call it cheating? What's our problem? What's the problem? Why is it celebrated? It's clearly cheating. I'm aloof right now. I don't get it. Everybody stay silent on it. I'm not celebrating Mikey over here, okay, who decides to call himself Michelle. I'm not celebrating it. You cheated these girls out of their opportunity. They've worked hard all year. And just because you couldn't finish top 10 in the guys, you decided to come over to the girls. Even your best time wasn't even ranked with the dudes. I'm beyond it. It's just frustrating that we won't call it what it is.
Yeah, people are just fearful of what's the backlash. Like we say, we'll say it on here and everywhere we go, but the backlash that people will get, I think people are fearful to stand up. But understand this: some people say we're just hating on a certain group, but we're standing up for the girls. We're standing up for your guys' daughters, right? Who's standing up for them on this topic?
Absolutely. Hey, listen. If you're really that gun-ho about transgenders, start a transgender league.
Well, I think part of the feminist movement had to do with equal opportunity, right?
Right.
And I could be wrong. I'm not a feminist, but how is this equal opportunity?
How is it equal?
You know,
great question.
If you fought so hard for the ability to have Title IX, I believe it's Title IX.
It is, yeah.
And you're literally losing. Women are going to be losing scholarships.
Yes.
To men.
To men.
These are young women who are running against a man.
I know you were in a biology major, but I just have a question, please. I just have a question.
Oh no, here we go. I feel like it's gonna be a setup.
It's not a setup. Help me to understand. No matter what this person does, biologically, they will always be a male.
Yeah, correct. Doesn't matter what you snip. So it was kind of a setup.
you took the hook.
I know.
But listen, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying your bone density, your testosterone, all of that.
So you brought up soccer, and I think that it's going to be a different conversation when you talk about physical sports, right? In the sense of like against each other, physical. So basketball, soccer,
rugby,
water polo.
Oh gosh, water polo.
Where you can really physically dominate the other person just by your stature.
Yes.
And so it's going to be like, what is it going to take where two girls are playing against each other in basketball and an elbow to the face is, a cut or a black eye versus a guy and a girl playing basketball and an elbow to the face is you broke an eye socket.
Right.
Bone density in itself. And so it's crazy to me that they would allow this. I don't get it. I don't understand where it's going to end, because DeShawn will bring this up often to where, what we've allowed is that there will be no end. You can just keep on going. And this is the beginning to the end of women's sports.
Which they fought for so long and so hard to find some equality. And now this is where we're at. DeShawn, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think even my own kids, having a son and a daughter, like when they want to play fight, or my daughter always wants to fight my son. He's already a big kid, just in general. Is then he's a boy on top of that and older than her. I'm like, look, you can't keep fighting with him all the time. Like, you have to realize we need to pull back. Like, he will hurt you. The same instance, I have to tell him, hey, she's a girl. You have to be more gentle playing with the girls. You will hurt them. You can go fight with the boys. Like, you guys are literally punching each other in the chest and just going with it. I'm like, that's fine. Go do it. You can't go do that with the girls. But they want to get rid of that, this is difference. There is a difference. You take away that difference, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to be taken advantage of when you don't identify those differences. There's a difference between male and female. And they don't want to recognize that. But I think a big part of it, that what they're going to argue is, well, that young man, he's struggling and he wants to identify as a female, and that makes him feel better. He might truly be struggling and going through some stuff, but it doesn't mean that you lie to him. It doesn't mean you let him go with that delusion. It's like, hey, you're really having a hard time figuring out who you are. Let's work through that. But you being a female, that's not true. That might hurt your feelings, but it's okay. I'm going to tell you the truth, and let's work through this together. We got to also remember we can care for these people in truth, but I can love you by giving you the truth at the same time. And if you don't want to accept that, that's not on me. But eventually, you're going to come back to me because I'm going to tell you the honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think you nailed it, but I think the problem is the church has been quiet about it. We don't talk about this stuff. And we have parents over here struggling because their kids are facing this every day in school. And it's not right. And the moment they stand up with their 30 seconds of courage, they're blasted for being insensitive. And it's not insensitive.
Well, by the way, we're labeled as, if you say you're a Christian, people already know the point of view you have, and you're hateful. You're a bunch of bigots.
Okay,
That's
watch
what
this.
Get labeled as.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. I've got another question, and this is a total setup question. So let me ask something. We all know about religious fanatics. We all know. Usually we label that street corner guy, right? Street corner guy. But you know what I've seen more of? Secular fanaticism. When is it too far? When is it too much? You know what hit me the other day? You had secular fanaticism for a solid year and a half in what we went through, and nobody said it was too much. We had people filming our kids. We had people dressed inappropriately, and nobody ever said it was too much. But if it was reversed and we had signs and we had all that stuff, they would have said that's religious fanaticism. Well, where's the secular fanaticism? When is it just too far? But see, the left won't ever say that. They won't ever say that. But the moment someone gets 30 seconds of courage and calls them out on it, They'll say, oh no, it's never too far, because you could be as secular as you want. And that's the moral depravity that we see right now. Secular fanaticism. And every pastor that I know is quiet about it. They're quiet about it. They got no guts. They got no balls to get up there and say, listen, this is wrong. This is wrong. Where's the guts in the church to get up and say, no, this is too much. This is too far. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you have to be okay being labeled a bigot and hateful. The thing is, just don't be it. Love people and tell the truth, and realize you're going to get labeled that.
Absolutely.
And be okay with that. You have to right now, because that's just what's going to happen. So realize, be loving to people, don't be racist, care for people, and tell the truth. But realize you're going to get all those labels.
Racism. What racism did you see?
Oh yeah, they're a bunch of racists. Never mind. I don't say it like that. There's a lot of people who say they care for others, that they love other people, but me as a black man, as I'm a Christian, right away, like, oh no, they don't want to accept that. It's automatically, it's like, no, you just want to be racist because I don't go with your agenda.
Right.
So you're okay accepting a black dude if it goes with your agenda, because then you have another side to support you.
Bro, I told the guy in the gym today, I was talking to this guy in the gym today, and he followed our whole story, and I said, you know what the hardest thing to do? You know what the hardest thing to be? The hardest thing to be in America right now is to be a Mexican and be conservative. I said, there's only one person who's got it harder. It's a black man who's a conservative. I said, it's so hard. It's so hard because white people automatically think you're a liberal, and the liberals call you a sellout. It's so hard. Like, I can't win. Like, I'm trying to fight two fronts right here. But it's so true. It's funny. Everything everybody said about us is what they were doing. And it's like, where are we? Where's the church going? Secularism went too far. I'm talking about transgender sports here. Like, why is it the church going, hey, yo, this is wrong. We're too far. This has gone a little too far here, guys. But no, you still get another self-help sermon. Hey, 7 ways to your best life now. Here's all you got to do. No, man, we're dying to secularism.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hard part is that you're always trying to love people. So you're trying to find that balance of loving people, also telling the truth. And that
what about God's holiness?
Exactly. That's also the part you want to get to, but you also want. So it's just like, I think a lot of pastors have a heart like, I want to care for that person, but realize sometimes telling the truth is just going to hurt. And sometimes you go to that. So we talked, me and Jay talked about Andrew Tate. And like, I still don't know a lot.
I wondered if his name was going to come up.
I know a lot, but we're saying like, because of that far extreme of liberals, right. He's going that far other extreme to like, I might agree with some of the stuff you say.
So why are men following him by the droves?
Exactly. So you're going to
No, why? Why are men following him? Why are men following Andrew Tate?
I hate that other side. Yeah. And so when you have this loud voice that's extreme, you're like, people don't always agree with everything he does. Like, that's a little bit off, but I got this in my other option. Well, I just go with this crazy.
Okay, hold on. What were we going to say?
Nobody else will say anything.
Okay, why? Okay, I'm going to get to you. Hold on, Mike. Why do you think people are following Andrew Tate?
I think it's just a counterbalance to the left.
Okay.
Right? And so I think DeShawn's right on. You go extremes either one way or the other, and you're so focused on fighting each other. Well, how do I counterbalance what they're doing?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The thing with Christians is we have the written word, right? We have God's word that we go off of. You said, where's the line to the left, or the secular said there is no line.
There is no line.
Because there's no holiness, there's no word that's written that they can go off of. And so as a matter of fact, the more left you go, or the more
you're praised.
The more you're praised.
The more you're glorified. All right, Mike, what were you going to say? Why are people following Andrew Tate?
Now I don't know much about Andrew Tate, but
don't follow Andrew Tate.
No. But I ran into guys this last week at the gym. All of them follow Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah,
Never would have suspected it.
I'm just saying, my opinion. Don't follow Andrew Tate.
No, I would have never suspected it. I'm just saying, there's so many closet Andrew Tate fans. It's ridiculous. But go ahead.
I just don't know how many voices there are that oppose this far left ideology, and so as men, you're like, man, I'm tired of hearing about how I've got to do this, or I'm labeled this, or I have to give into this, or I have to be this certain way that the left is saying. But yet on the right, it's like, I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people like Trump.
Okay.
Because there was no other voice that was sounding opposite to the craziness that you're hearing from the left.
Okay.
And I imagine with Andrew Tate, it's like that too. It's like, where is the voice of not toxic masculinity, but the voice that says it's okay to be a man? Where is that voice? Where you have you have tons of voices that are saying, you know, it's okay for me to be a woman, but where are the voices that say it's okay for me to be a man?
Okay, now see, I agree with what everybody said, but if I had to rank it, I think it's what you just said. The biblical masculinity has not been celebrated, nor has it been preached. And I think that's why men are flocking by the droves to Andrew Tate. Because they said, I don't identify as that, and I have no other option but this. But if we would reclaim biblical masculinity, you know what surprised me? And maybe I caught feelings, okay? Which is fine. But when the Fresno Bee came after me, and I said about reclaiming biblical masculinity, not one pastor came to my defense. What was wrong with what I said? Why was the church quiet? Why didn't pastors from around town say, you know what? Yeah, we are reclaiming biblical masculinity. I'm down, because nobody wants that smoke. Nobody wants that fight. When I read my Old Testament, even my New Testament, they never ducked anything. They were always willing to go all out for the gospel, even if it cost them their life. It wasn't about platforms and platitudes, and it wasn't about pulpits, and it wasn't about recognition and name recognition and Instagram and all the social media stuff. It was about the gospel. And yet when the Fresno Bee came after, I didn't get one phone call. Not one phone call, nothing. But that's cool, because, you know, you can go it alone. You know, someone's got to fight it. But all I was given was another option that you can't have biblical masculinity. It can't be celebrated. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jesus did choose 12 dudes. Like, I mean, hello. I'm not putting women down. I'm just saying that's what Jesus chose. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Jesus. And I celebrate women at a church. I don't know if another church has got more women pastors than we do. But I'm saying I'm not gonna sell out biblical masculinity just to get women pastors. I'm gonna keep it Bible. I'm gonna keep it Jesus. Right? And see, that makes other people on the other side upset. Oh, I can't believe this pastor got women pastors, you know? Because I'm taking the whole gospel. And I think we're better together. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I was talking to a guy at the gym, and he had brought up the council and them getting a raise, getting raised. And I was like, and he expected, because he knows the situation was going on. And he expected me to be like on this side, like, yeah, look at them. They're a bunch of crap, da-da-da. And I was like, well, you know, if you want to try good people, you got to pay them decently, you know, $80,000 a year. If this is, you know, a lot of their time, I was like, they maybe should get an increase, but it shouldn't be, you know, that big increase all at once. And it was more stuff going on right now I don't know about. And he was shocked. He was like, wait, what? He's not supposed to be with me and all this stuff. And now we're talking more. It's like, you know, one thing that you used to bring up, I don't know if you talk about it much anymore, is the radical middle.
Right.
I was like, hey, I'm not, just because they did me wrong, I still want to look at this objectively.
Absolutely.
And I want to fight for that radical middle.
Right.
These council members don't deserve crap. They don't deserve a raise. But the people, they said they were doing a good job, and the city was running really well. You wouldn't have an issue with that.
That's
you
right.
want to try those. So I didn't want to. I was look, I'm fighting for this radical middle. I'm not trying to be this far left or this far right. I want to be biblical, like you're saying, and I'm fighting for that radical middle. Like, I'm going to stream like for God, for Christ, and I'm not just taking politics into everything that I see or how people did me wrong. Like, what's really going on here, and how can we look at it in this way? And he was born. So he was just shocked by it. He was like.
No, but see,
he was like, all right.
But see, that's what biblical masculinity is. This is the Not Offended podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, comment. This is a hot one today. Follow us on our new page and on Apple iTunes. You can get the Not Offended podcast. We'd love for you to join us and join in on this conversation. Ask us questions. I'm telling you right now, we are full deep in it right now. I think, DeShawn, you bring up a very good point of fighting for the radical middle. That's what biblical masculinity does. We're protectors. We're defenders. But we're also people who move it forward. Right? Okay, so I got another one. Listen to this. After School Club is coming into Hatchapee, and the After School Club is called Satan's Club. They're going to have an official after school program called Satan's Club. Where's the church? What are we doing?
Is their point they got to be balanced? Is that why they got to have this club? Or
What
So what do they do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my question. I don't know what they do, but here's my question. Can you tell me one good thing the devil has done? I'm all ears. That he should get a club?
I'm just going to say these are lost people over there. Probably a parent wanting to have their kids do something, and they're just lost.
Someone help me out here. I'm struggling. Bill, that was a try. That was,
I don't have anything, Pastor. Like, what did I
You gave
say?
it a go.
I don't have anything.
Can you tell me one good thing? What's he known for? Love, charity, benevolence? Come on, help me out here.
He's cool with you sinning. I mean,
Yeah.
Is
Might
he
actually
really,
might actually be a fun club.
is he really cool with you
14.
sinning?
I mean, he likes that you're gonna go to hell.
Exactly. So he's not really cool with you sinning. He wants you to join in on his depravity.
Yeah.
So misery like company.
Yeah.
Well, I think they ought to teach who he really is. Will they say?
So what's the tenets of faith to be a Satanist?
I don't know.
Can you believe this? In elementary school. This is what I'm saying. As a left, there's no end.
There's no end.
It's like the more hedonistic you are, the more you're celebrated.
Yeah.
Where's the church? Where is the church? I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
So what? So like, what is? So when we say where's the church, like, what would be ideal for the church to do?
If I live in that city,
Yeah.
I'm starting to protest that. I'm like, we are not having a demonic club that teaches no tenets of faith and of no value. We are not doing that. This is not happening on my watch. You get those school board members out. You fire the principal. You do whatever you need to do by any means necessary.
That's when that's what some of the guys from the Daily Wire are talking about. They're all conservatives are so bad at rallying together and making change, and liberals are great at it.
Huh. Tell me about that. Tell me about conservatives rallying around another conservative who gets protested for 90-something weeks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Please, I'm all ears. I would love to hear about that.
No, but they were talking about, like, even if they're a smaller group or not, it doesn't matter. They do a good job. I mean, yeah, you're right. We've seen it. We've seen that they'll make websites and all this stuff rally together to protest our church. And their whole argument is like, conservatives are like, it'll work out. It'll work out in our favor. Yeah, but it's like
we'll pray about it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But it's like, hey, but their argument was like, hey, nothing's working out. Like, you got to say something.
Yeah.
Because their whole thing is like, you guys got to support us. You're like, if this was like a liberal like website, there'd be a bunch of support. But they were saying, you guys got to come support us so we can make content that your kids can watch.
Absolutely.
That you can do this. It was like, but he's like, you conservatives don't do nothing. So you need to come help. You need to come and help us.
Nothing. They don't. I'm telling you right now, I can speak on facts all day about that. It's like, bro, you would think I'd be the poster child of like bravery, and instead I'm shunned still. Yeah. I'm still shunned. Like, people see me coming. I tell you a true story. One of these pastors, who the guilty will remain nameless, came up to me and goes, "Oh man, I was supporting you." I said, "Well, I wouldn't know it." He got all mad. I said, "I wouldn't know it because you never called me, you never reached out. But thanks, here's your little fist bump." I'm like, are you kidding me? You were afraid to support me publicly because you were afraid of the people you would lose. So you sold me out. It's a Judas spirit in the church, and we got to get rid of it. We got to call for what it is.
But you even look at someone like Joe Rogan, which he isn't. He labeled himself a liberal.
He's secular.
Yeah, and so, but he's like I say he rides the middle.
Oh, he does.
There's some stuff like he's for gay marriage and all this stuff, but see how hated he is for doing that.
Oh, bro.
Both sides will hate him a lot of times.
But listen, I've gotten. Please, if anybody's going to hear anything, they got to hear this. I've got no problem with being in the middle. On the majority of the stuff, I've got no problem on being in the middle. And I think this is what makes me easily offended to people. It's because you talk about immigration. There should be a pathway to citizenship, but you need to tighten up the border. We got all sorts of stuff going on down there.
Hey, Israel got some border. They got some borders.
You see walls.
They got walls inside their walls, man, everywhere.
If you touch that wall, he's like, helicopter will be on top of your head. He kept saying it.
And they will shoot first.
That's true.
There is no crossing over from Jordan over to Israel. There's no crossing over.
No crossing over.
Yep.
Yes, sir. No, like, I'm in the middle on a lot of stuff. And I think that's what makes me an easy target. It's because I fight for that radical middle because I think the Bible is radically middle on a lot of things. So anyway, okay. This is Not Offended Podcast, y'all. I got one more thing. And I saved the best for last. And I'm looking at my time. Good. We get to spend about 15 minutes on this. So a pastor, and I'm saying his name because he ain't nameless, Creflo Dollar. I used to have mad respect for him. Got up. I think it was about a month ago now, 3 weeks or a month ago, had Stacey Abrams come to church at his church in Atlanta. Stacey Abrams was running for the governorship of Georgia, and had her stand up, and he said, with all the confidence in the world and all the prayers behind her, hopefully we could call you Governor Stacey Abrams, and he endorsed her from the pulpit. And this is a woman who believes that abortion up until the day the baby is born is okay, that anybody should marry anybody they want to, and that she is the defender of radical critical race theory. She is the defender of everything anti-Bible. And Creflo Dollar gets up and literally supports her from the pulpit. Have we lost our freaking minds?
He's black, right?
Yeah, he's black.
Was she black?
She's black.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. No, I really don't know. It was a legit question. I'm not leaving anywhere.
I feel like you set me up right there on that one.
Okay, is there a different pressure on the black churches to support?
It might be some motives behind that. That's all I was asking.
I'm listening. I'm all ears. Go ahead, speculate.
No, I don't know nothing about him. I don't watch pastors on TV. I just don't trust any of them. I mean, there might be some good ones. I just don't trust them. If he has an all black church, which I don't know if he does or doesn't.
It's probably predominantly.
He might have pressure from his congregation or his board or whatever to endorse her. Maybe she goes to his church already.
So are you saying you could be purchased?
Your
salary is worth that much?
Maybe. He might just have that pressure on him that I need to do this.
I don't care what pressure comes anywhere. I am not endorsing a person who's
a lot of black pastors endorse Obama.
And how'd that turn out?
Black pastors in town who endorse Miguel Arias.
How'd that turn out?
Well, Miguel's still in power.
No, how'd that turn out for both?
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't work out. I mean, I just learned from my parents. I mean, there's instances. I know my dad always rooted for the black quarterback. He always rooted for the black coach. He did because growing up they were.
Well, you did go for the Astros.
I did. Yeah. Oh yeah, they won too, huh? Right? Yeah. I was happy. I was like,
Dusty Baker.
There you go.
Because Dusty Baker.
I like Dusty Baker, by the way. Like I liked him when he was at the Giants, and I hate the Giants.
But I had learned. I remember one time at a men's breakfast. I was talking to an older black man, and he was like, "Yeah, I was a quarterback, coming up. But when I got to high school, they switched me to receiver, even though I was better than a quarterback. I couldn't be a black quarterback.
Right.
This wasn't it.
There was a knock on black quarterbacks.
So I understood why my dad did it. But when it came to this, his values, it's my parents' values. Obama didn't represent our Christian values. So the blackness didn't matter anymore. It was about being a Christian that mattered more. It seems like a lot of pastors and a lot of churches don't value that. They don't realize, hey, I don't care if you're black or white.
Okay,
are you following Christ?
Let's have a moment of honesty real quickly. I support Mexican quarterbacks. I'm not going to lie. When Mark Sanchez came out, I had all the hopes in the world. Until he got
one. Which one?
Until he got caught.
He supports Mexican quarterbacks.
10 years ago.
Time out. Dude,
Here we go. He's got a list.
I got a list. Okay,
whether they claim to be Mexican or not.
Mark is pulled over. Is he white or Mexican? I don't know.
His name is Anthony Romo, not Tony Romo.
No, Tony Romo don't count.
He is Mexican.
See, I told you, he's got a list.
Oh my! I got a list. Oh, but hold on. Let's stop.
Told you got a list.
Time out. You guys are killing me. I'm having a moment of honesty, and you guys are making fun of me. I do root for that. I just found out Fred Warner is half Mexican. The guy plays for the 49ers. They did a big article about him playing in Mexico.
Yeah, and I'm still riding that Jeremy Lin New York Times. Let's go. We're claiming him. And Tiger Woods is Asian.
I don't even know where to go with that. Okay, I'm just saying. I feel that when Tom Flores was the head coach of the Raiders, all the Mexicans supported that. Listen, I agree with you. And by the way, I don't care what anybody says. Caleb Williams, USC quarterback, please, Raiders, draft him, okay? That's all I had to say. He said black quarterback. Draft Caleb Williams. Okay,
I was like, wait, he's Mexican?
No, he black. But anyway, that's not the point. He might be mixed. I don't know. I'll take it. I don't care what he is. I want him. I do feel that certain pressure. But I like what you said when it came to values. So where's his values? How do you back that up biblically? I need to know. What the heck is going on? You have any thoughts, anybody? I don't get it. Pressure or no pressure? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his position. I just know once politically, when politics gets involved, people will choose, I guess, for them the greater good, right? And so sometimes they'll say, hey, I got to back this person because this person is able to do this for my church, and therefore my church is going to be better.
What about for the kingdom?
Yeah, there is none when it comes to politics and all that. So if politics, like DeShawn was saying, so if your political career or your politics comes before you as a Christian,
but I feel like
that.
there's a certain pressure on people of color that we have to vote a certain way, and as pastors, we have to teach our congregation to vote a certain way.
About everything, even white pastors would get a pressure too to support. If you don't support minorities, well, you're racist. I think across the board, you're gonna feel something. You have to just willing not to compromise anything. Your faith, you can't compromise your faith for anything.
So should pastors be in politics?
That's the question.
Mike, pastors be in politics?
Well, I feel like at this point, it's almost forcing our hand to be in politics.
Right?
I mean, if you have somebody who's endorsing a candidate and is, a trusted person is endorsing a candidate that is very anti-biblical. If you're another pastor in the city of Atlanta or wherever they're at in Georgia, how do you kind of not say anything?
Okay, I love what Dr. King said. He said the church is supposed to be the voice of morality. The church doesn't come alongside politics and support it. It comes and it stands, face to face with it. It confronts it. And I'm watching the churches, in general, really kind of, take a back seat, and we're not speaking up. We're not speaking up about the compromise that's down at City Hall.
Well, I think the church definitely should endorse values.
But are we even doing that right now is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, if you look at it locally, I would say we have done a poor job, at least getting the word out. Maybe churches are preaching on certain topics. I know that one of the churches in town got a little bit of backlash for bringing in a guy talking about.
I saw that backlash and I kind of just laughed. I thought that was funny.
It was like a backsplash.
Yeah, there was nothing.
But other than that, I mean, I don't think that people are putting their necks out there and really saying, hey, the people that we have in office, or how about this? We voted a mayor into office who sits on, the values of being a biblical man of faith. And we still invite him to every men's breakfast every time you can.
Boy, that's your go-to, huh? Like you're on these men's breakfasts, yeah.
Or you bring in his token guy in order to be a guest speaker. But it's like, are their lives in office really matching up?
No,
it doesn't appear to be. It doesn't appear to be. But
right.
People won't speak out against it.
Right. I think that's why we've lost credibility. Is we haven't talked about values. We haven't talked about what's important to the kingdom of God. And I think that in doing so, we have had a dumbification of our congregation. Our congregation's not aware. Like, how many people are really aware that the taxpayers are paying for Nelson Esparza's lawyer? Because he popped off with his mouth. He wrote a check he couldn't cash. That's literally the truth. Nelson Esparza wrote a check he couldn't cash. And now the city's on the hook for his lawyer fees. Which, by the way, the lawyers are getting paid right now.
Yeah,
they working overtime.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, come on. Can we get some disclosure on that, or is that going to be anonymity? Can we get some transparency on that, Miguel? Where's Miguel? Come on, Miguel, Mr. Transparent himself. Let's have a moment of honesty. How much y'all footing for that bill? Where's Esmeralda at?
Yeah, they refused to put that out of who voted for what when it came to that.
Well, it speaks very clearly. I don't think Nelson acted alone in that meeting.
Oh, for sure.
Right, when he's representing the four, allegedly, we got to throw that out there. And so,
are you afraid of getting sued again? Allegedly?
Yeah, I don't want to get. I'm tired of dealing with letters.
I'm tired of getting letters from lawyers.
Yeah,
as if they watch this podcast.
And so allegedly this meeting happened, but he didn't act alone. I think he represented, and it's apparent how the group has backed him, by showing up to court and supporting him through this whole thing. And so we'll see if anything ever comes out. To me, nothing ever comes out, man. It's all stays secretive, but we'll see.
Hey, the truth is though, He went in like he was the Godfather. He got caught with his hand in a cookie jar. There ain't no way around that. He was scared.
But you see who they put their buddy in as the
I know Andrew Jans is now the new city attorney. The failed mayoral candidate. However you say it. Mayoral? How'd you say that, Jake? That's a nice fight dollar word right there.
Yeah.
The wannabe mayor, he lost. He got smoked in the primaries. That's what happened. Andrew Jans now. We're going to put our buddies in. There you go. Allegedly? Or should I get a letter?
Yeah. Nah, I think something came out. I think he's taking a job.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, anybody got any thoughts on that? Are we done with that once the church is getting politics, or is that a wrap?
But I was thinking, we're talking about values. I was thinking, what values are we seeing in our society today that are being violated the most?
What you mean?
What values are being violated? We said we're supposed to talk about values. What values do we see that are being violated the most?
To me, the family.
Yeah. The family.
I think there's 100% attack on the family.
Especially men.
Yeah.
There's an all-out assault on men. Especially white men, Mike. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, it's tricky being a white man.
How's it feel to be white, Mike?
Can't get right, man.
Yeah, right. I had a friend of mine who's white. He said, hey, we had a good run, man. 100 years. We had a great run.
Yeah, that's like your lineage being rich and then you're poor. Yeah. My lineage was rich and now I'm poor.
You had a good run, Mike? You had a good run?
They had a good run.
Was it like the 94, 95 Bulls?
They had a great run.
Like 94, 95 Bulls? You had a good run?
Yeah, except for I'm the current Bulls team.
Yeah.
And my forefathers.
I think now could be the church's finest hour. I know pastors tune into this. I think now can be the greatest hour. I don't think this is an hour to tuck tail and run. I think this is an hour to stand your ground and fight for what matters, and that's the kingdom of God, the values. Talking about the nuclear family, the man is the head of the household. I'm talking it's okay to be a man. That's how God created you to be. And I think reclaiming biblical masculinity is what it's all about. And I think once the man gets it right, the whole world will get it right. And I think that's what we need to fight for, those values. We need to protect life at all cost, right? We need to continue to fight for honorable marriages and honorable things. And in the morality, we need to be the backbone of the community again. Now is that time. And I think I'm proud to be shoulder to shoulder with men like you. Whether it's in Bethlehem or it's over here in Fresno. There's no other crew I'd rather run with. So it's been an honor to do this with you guys. This has been the Not Offended Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, was this an episode? Please do me a favor, like, comment, share, and go ahead and throw us some questions if you have them out there. Follow us on our new page on YouTube, the Not Offended page. Also, you can catch us on iTunes. Please spread the word. Help us get it out there. We love you guys. Peace. We'll see you next week. We're out.